The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Today at the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we're going to go through the NXT. What Triple H said on his NXT roster meeting, claiming that AEW bullied their way into Wednesday night. Well, we all know that's not true, but we're going to go through that comment that he made and what has happened since. Now that NXT is now forced to go on Tuesday night. That and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from New York City. And as I said from the beginning of the show, the intro, we're going to be talking about what Triple H said on his meeting with the NXT roster of how AEW bullied their way into Wednesday nights. It's funny how Triple H talks about bullying. We all know that WWE's been bullying other promotions for years. So now all of a sudden now, because NXT is forced to go on Tuesdays, AEW now is the bully. So pretty much what you're saying is you're waving your flag. AEW is better than NXT. That's what basically what you're saying. I'm not saying it, but you're saying it, Mr. Triple H. So before I start, I just want to thank all my subscribers and every subscriber who has subscribed to my YouTube channel on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I want to thank you for at least getting a chance to sit down and watch my shows every week. And again, if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, you guys can see it's on the top. Just follow that with the name, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. If you guys want to go get the podcast merchandise, the t-shirt, here it is, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report t-shirt. I also have other t-shirts on the website. I have a baseball cap, which is not the one I'm wearing right now, but it's a snapback with this logo on top of it on the front. You go to tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com, and you get to purchase it whenever you want. Also in that website, you can also go to the website. The first thing you see is, you may be seeing this video. You see the thumbnail, the YouTube channel, and then right under the YouTube channel you'll see the Chokeslam Wrestling Report logo. If you click that, it takes you directly to the audio podcast that I do on Sundays and Thursdays. On Sunday I do a audio podcast called Behind the Curtain. We talk about what happened during the week in wrestling, or I cover any pay-per-view that happened that Saturday night or from any promotion. And then on Thursday I do the AEW Dynamite review. Again, guys, if you want to get this shirt, it's on tcwr.veryimpressive.com. In there you get the YouTube channel and you get the audio podcast. Once you click on the logo, Chokeslam Wrestling Report logo in red, click it, it takes you straight into the Apple Podcast archives. It shows you all the shows that I've done in the past, so you guys can enjoy it whatever you wanted in there. So again, once again, I want to thank the subscribers. If you like what you're seeing right now, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for new uploads, and hit that thumbs up. That will help the channel in the search engine. So let's get to the topic at hand. AEW bullied NXT out of Wednesday night. This is what Triple H said on his meeting on Tuesday. Supposedly this came from the Wrestling Observer, Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez. I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, that Dave Meltzer is an AEW shield. He's pro AEW. He doesn't like NXT, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he's not the only one that's coming out with this. Okay. Fightful Select had it also of this meeting. Supposedly, the Triple H said that AEW bullied NXT out of Wednesday night. So let's go for a little history tour here, as we all know. In the beginning, okay, in the beginning of this whole AEW WWE war, okay, we all remember that as soon as AEW had announced that they were going to be on TV on, I believe, in March of I think it was March, and when they announced that TNT, they were going to be on TNT on Wednesday night, WWE decided to do everything possible to make it real bad for the new, at that time, the new promotion. They went as far as, I remember, they wanted to sign with Fox to make their show bigger and brighter for SmackDown. They joined a network. Then they went as far as to put Evolve against Fyter Fest that July, when in reality, yes, they had worked with Evolve, but nobody really knew that they were working with Evolve until they did that, where they brought Evolve into the network the same day that New Japan Pro Wrestling had also the Royal Castle pay-per-view during that time, and you had WWE winning Evolve, and Fyter Fest was on that same week. So already you saw that WWE was trying to bully their way around like they were usually doing during this whole time they were dominating the pro wrestling scene and whatnot. You know, bullying Impact, bullying Ring of Honor, taking talent away from everybody like they did throughout the 80s and 90s, and what they did to all the small little territories back then. So McMahon is known to be a bully, even behind the scenes, okay? So here it is. You saw what already had happened. They were already trying to jeopardize AEW when they put Evolve to go against AEW and Fyter Fest. Fyter Fest was a free event. It was just for charity, and WWE did not give a rat's ass. They went and decided to put Evolve on their network. So who was bullying who at that time? Let's forward 2 months later. They decided to do then bring the NXT, because they weren't going to put Raw or SmackDown against them, because you know they would have put Raw and SmackDown against them, they were going to lose. So they take NXT, the third brand, it was very, very popular, they had all the great stars from the Ring of Honor, Japan, and every other place. Impact, they had them all there. And that was the third brand. That was the brand that was bringing eyes to the WWE product. They decided then to take NXT as a network from a 1-hour show and put it to the USA Network for a 2-hour show. So when they did the 2-hour show and whatnot, so pretty much, I remember the first night they did it was September 18, 2019. I remember that because it was 2 weeks before AEW started the AEW Dynamite. Okay, they decided to do a takeover event, and they were going to do all the flashy stuff. They put the first hour through USA Network, the second hour was through the WWE Network, which it kind of failed, and that was a sign right there, because they were having issues because of the amount of people that were going into the network, that the network crashed. Okay, the network crashed. So now, after that, you saw all the bullying. They were trying to do everything possible to make it impossible for AEW to succeed. Now, all of a sudden, now when AEW now is on TNT every week, WWE decides to start using names of events that were WCW events. The first one they did this past July was the Great American Bash, which they already had done it a couple of years ago, but they wanted to put it on the NXT brand. We all know the Great American Bash. That was an invention from Dusty Rhodes. The one more and one better than to make an embarrassment, to just kick it to Cody Rhodes, than to use his father's stuff. So after that, NXT won a couple of weeks and all that stuff, but they kept losing every week. They kept losing to the AEW every week, and then all of a sudden, Halloween Havoc happens. That didn't do well, but they did the best they can. But every week they were getting beaten. Now, I'm not saying that NXT is garbage and NXT is horrible and it's not worth it. NXT is good. One they got to blame is Vince McMahon. When Vince McMahon on January of 2018 or 2019, whatever the hell it was, he decided that he wanted to take NXT talent and bring it up to WWE to make Raw better. He depleted NXT. And this is what you get now, what NXT is all about right now. NXT is not, they barely do 800,000 views a week against AEW. Why? Because they depleted the roster, and as good as the roster still is, they still were having issues. And because all the talent they had, they all went to Raw. The War Machines, broken up. Ricochet. Who else is Apollo Creed? Aleister Black. Andrade, who just left. They took all these talent out of NXT to bring it up to the Raw, and this is what you get. You got nobody else to blame but Vince McMahon. So for Triple H to say that AEW bullied NXT makes him look like an idiot, because you're claiming that the AEW bullied you guys out of a Wednesday night. But you guys moving to Tuesday night, what do you think you were trying to do? You was trying to bully Impact now. Now, you know Impact don't have a lot of viewers. They average about 150,000 views on Tuesday. But you was going to go on Tuesday night, and now you force Impact to leave Tuesday night to go Thursday night, which is a smart move for Impact, because Impact knew that they were going to get bullied. So WWE and NXT and Triple H and all these guys knew what they were doing. They were trying to go to Tuesday night to start bullying the smaller guys, because the smaller guys, Impact joined AEW for the Forbidden Door storyline that they're doing. So who's the bully here now? I mean, and anybody could argue with me and disagree with what I'm just saying, but who's been the bully all this time? You know what I'm saying? You're the big machine. You're the one with all the money behind you. And now you're talking about that the reason NXT is going on Tuesday night is because of AEW bullied them? What happened? You can't blame nobody. See, and it's a cheap shot of them using AEW as the reason why they're more. You gotta blame it on the old man. The old man's responsible for why NXT is not doing great. And again, I just want to reiterate that I'm not saying that NXT is no good. I'm just saying that they were way better. And they put it this way: the Survivor Series of 2019, if you guys remember that, the NXT won that. Okay, showed you that they were the better brand than Raw and SmackDown. McMahon didn't like that. McMahon made sure, that that was not going to happen again. Okay, because now, if you think about it, look, Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai just won the Dusty Road Classic, the first female tag team champions. And who did they lose to? Okay, to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Nia Jax. Come on, are you kidding me? It's crazy. It's crazy, and I don't agree with any of the stuff that's going on with the stuff that's going on with NXT. And for them to start blaming, let me fix the camera here a little bit. And for them to start blaming that, you know, the AEW's only been around for 2 years. So what are you talking about? Like that makes no sense. You claim that a 2-year company bully you out, and your guys been around for 7 years. How about when you guys were bullying everybody else? You know what I'm saying? And you still try to bully other people. Okay? What you did, you bought Evolve, and you only bought the library, and then you just, and the reason you bought the library for Evolve was because a lot of the stuff on Evolve, you got your Young Bucks, you got Orange Cassidy, you got all these wrestlers who now in AEW, you got their libraries. Okay? And everything, like I said, everything comes in full circle. WWE thinks that, you know, they're going to keep going, getting away with all this, bullying the small companies, bullying other small promotions, and the writing is on the wall. And if you don't believe me, look what they did. They just sold Peacock to NBC. And what NBC is doing right now, they're erasing most of the stuff that that WWE has done throughout the years. The Attitude Era, they might erase the Edge and Leader scene, I mean, that was wild. I mean, and this was in an era where McMahon was getting away with everything, raunchy stuff. They're about to erase every raunchy stuff that WWE ever created and whatnot in the history I mean, there was a Wrestling Inc. tweet, which looks like it's probably fake because that's the way it looks like it. There's nowhere. I went to Wrestling Inc. Twitter this morning, and they claim that Peacock is trying to do the standard policy and that the WWE is upset about it, whatever. What are you upset about? McMahon just made $200 million for 5 years. And he's upset about what? He doesn't care. He cashed out. He's out. And now, what it was WWE, that history is going to get erased because you sold it to a bunch of monkey in a suit who don't know nothing about wrestling, okay, don't know the storyline, don't know nothing, and they just want to erase everything, cancel culture. So what should we say? They don't care. They don't understand that that's wrestling, that's storylines, that the Attitude Era, all that stuff with the Attitude Era, they're going to erase all that. Okay, the ECW, I don't know what they're going to do with the ECW stuff, because ECW was mad raunchy through many years. What are they going to do? WWE is just standing like this. They got their money. They don't care. So it just, I mean, to me, honestly, they're just making this all look stupid, especially with that Triple H comment. AEW bullied you out of Wednesday nights. Really? Come on, stop it. Stop it. It's not like NXT, AEW shows are great every week, because they're not. They're not great every week. They average. Some weeks they are good. Some weeks you'll be like, oh, whatever. But they storylines, and they continue having their storylines, and they build their storylines. WWE and whatnot are known to just do one thing and that's it, and the storyline is over with within 2 weeks. The NXT is more, they carry on the storylines, but McMahon, blaming on McMahon for destroying NXT what it was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago to today. That NXT, you could put it up with anyone in the independent scene, and they were the hottest thing going. And even if AEW right now, if NXT was the way it was in 2019, with all that talent, and they kept it to the way that I think AEW would have to push the button to another level for them to bring it to where it's at. And again, this was already pretty much, you know, told that in 2 years AEW was going to be better than when the first time they did their first show, and they got talent galore. And then they got 3 shows, AEW Evolution and AEW Dark, which is pretty much their base where all the younger talents are at. And then they got AEW Dynamite, which is on Wednesday night. And the only thing that AEW has problem is the women's division, and that's one thing NXT will kick ass regardless of what happens, because they got a good talent of women there. So, but you can't blame AEW. That's some bullshit right there. I'll tell you that much. Some bullshit, and you need to just own up to it that it's your father-in-law, the one who caused your NXT to go to Tuesday night. So, again, guys, thank you very much for listening to this video. Let me know what you think, and let me your comments and your thoughts on this video. Again, guys, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Again, if you want to purchase this shirt on tcwr.veryinkpresent.com, you get the shirts, $20. Not bad, $20. There's other shirts there in the website. Again, if you go to the website, you get to see the YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel with the video of the week in there, and then you get to see the logo, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report logo. If you click that, it takes you directly to the audio podcast and all the archives and all the shows, and the one from yesterday that I made. You get to entertain yourself. I got tons of content in there if you guys want to listen. Shout out to the people in UK. If you guys get to see me, thank you very much. People in Mexico, United States, whatever, and all my subscribers. We're going for 150, guys. So I need 8 more subscribers to hit the 150 mark. Help and support the podcast. Again, hit that notification bell for new uploads. Subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up. Till then, guys, thank you very much for supporting the podcast again. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys soon.